we commit performing our work responsibly in your honor. Provide us with fresh supply of strength to do our job. Enlighten our hearts and mind so that our work brings faith, joy, and smile to all that we come in contact with. Bless our meetings and all the people gathered here today. May we be enlightened by your holy presence, and that through your guidance we will attain our objectives, all for our glory. All this we pray in the most holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
The joint meeting with the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability is hereby called to order.
The joint meeting with the Committee on Legislative Franchises is hereby called to order.
Mr. Chairman, on the part of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, I move to dispense with the calling of the roll.
I second the motion.
There's a motion to dispense with the calling of the roll for the Committee on Legislative Franchises. The motion is duly seconded. Hearing no objection, motion is approved.
On the part of Committee on Good Government and Accountability, I move that we dispense with the calling of the roll.
Second motion.
There's a motion to dispense with the calling of the roll for the Committee on Good Government. The motion is duly seconded. Hearing no objection, the motion is approved.
Mr. Chairman, on the part of the Committee on the Franchises, I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes and approve the minutes of the March 10 committee meeting.
Second the motion.
There is a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the March 10 CLF meeting and approve the same. The motion is duly seconded. Is there any objections? Hearing none, motion is approved.
On the part of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Second motion.
There's a motion to dispense with the reading of minutes. There's no objection. Hearing none, the motion is approved.
The Chair would like to ask the Committee Secretary to please acknowledge the members present and also our guests.
Good afternoon. For our members present here in the plenary, we have Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, we have Majority Leader Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, the Chairman of both committees, Franz Alvarez and Jose Antonio Cuellar C. Alvarado. We have Representative Divina Graciu, Jesus Crispin Remulla, Representative Micaela Bilago, Representative Roberto Puno, Representative Elpidio Bersago Jr., Representative Michael Defensor, Representative Bienvenido Abante, Representative Rodante El Rey Villaferte, Representative Rodante Marcoleta, Representative David Suarez, Representative Juan Miguel Arroyo, Representative Arlene Brosas, Representative Bambo Tolentino, Representative Raneo Abu, Representative Dan Fernandez, Representative Eric Goyap, Representative Lani Cayetano, Representative Wes Gatchalian. In the Zoom, we want to recognize our members in attending the Zoom video conferencing: Deputy Speaker Pablo Ortega, Deputy Speaker Geogracias Sabeliano, Representative Carlos Zarate, Representative Edsel Lagman, Deputy Speaker Conrad Estrella III, Deputy Speaker Rosemary Arenas, Representative Sol Aragones, Representative Joy Tambunting, Representative Ian D., Representative Presley De Jesus, Representative Neptali Boyet Gonzalez, Deputy Speaker Ferdinand Hernandez, Representative Raymond Mendoza, Representative Datu Rooney Sinsuwat Jr., Representative Ann Hofer, Representative Vilma Santos Recto, Christian Unabia, Gabriel Bordado Jr., Jericho Nograles, Tony Pet Albano, Chodorico Jaresco, Leanda Bolilia, Marlene Len Alonte, Representative Michael Romero, Mujib Hataman, Ferdinand Gaite, Cristal Bagaching, Frederick Xiao, Hilt Cabarangay Acosta, Rolando Valeriano, Stephen Paduano, Rufus Rodriguez, Sharon Garin, Estela Kimbo, Christopher Jones, Rogelio Pacquiao, Manuel Cabochan III, Godefredo Guya, Jose Pinting Tejada, Ace Barbers, Alfredo Garbin Jr., Yeder Romualdez, Tyron Agabas, Dale Along Malapitan, Edward Maceda, and Representative Onyx Crisologo. For our guest from the ABS-CBN, we have Mr. Carlo Katigbak, Mr. Martin Lopez, Mr. Mario Nepomuceno, Ricardo Vitan, Raymond Miranda, and Ms. Cory Bidanes. For NTC, we have Deputy Commissioner Edgardo Cabarrios. For MBC-DZRH, we have Mr. Angelo Palmones. For NABU, we have Mr. Alberto Laboon. And for Centro, we have Mr. Benjamin Albero III. That's all, Mr. Chair. We have also want to recognize Congressman Strike Revillas too.
Most of the members of our committee are joining us via Zoom video conferencing. Likewise, some of our colleagues, members of media, and interested parties for or against the application are joining this also via Zoom video conferencing.
On the part of the Blue Ribbon Committee of the House of Representatives, I hereby acknowledge the members present. Is also being streamed live on Facebook pages of our Speaker and the House of Representatives. Mr. Co-Chair, napansin ko lang po, the Solgen being absent in this hearing should be enjoined to attend future hearings and explain his side why should he not be held in contempt, Mr. Co-Chair.
That is correct, Mr. Co-Chair. The Chair is now directing both committee secretaries to private corporations to conduct business using source persons at expert witnesses upang magbigay linaw sa mga issues na ating pinag-uusapan. At dahil na din sa malawakang interes ng ating mga kababayan sa isyong ito, kinakailangan mailabas ang lahat ng impormasyon. The whole country will be watching, and if this committee does not do a good job, it is not only the network, but the entire Congress who will be judged. With this, I would like to ask every member of this committee, and even all those who will speak before it, to be guided by the principles of fairness, justice, honesty, and respect. Maraming salamat po.
Mga kasama, legislative power is vested in Congress. Ayon sa Article 6, Section 24 ng Konstitusyon, dapat magmula ang kapangyarihan ng Kamara to originate a franchise bill is exclusive, plenary, and discretionary. Hindi maaaring mapilit na mabalangkas ang batas ng ating Kongreso kung hindi nito nananais. Hindi tayo dapat pinangungunahan ng iba nating mga kasamahan sa gobyerno. Sa hearing po noong March 10, sa harap ng sambayan ng Pilipino, nagsabi ang NTC at they are under oath, natatalima sila sa payo ng DOJ na mag-i-issue ito ng provisional authority para sa ABS-CBN hanggang dumating ang panahon na mapagdesisyonan ng House of the People ang aplikasyon sa pagpapalawig ng prangkisa nito na naaayon sa saligang batas. Subalit sa hindi inaasahang pagkakataon, nag-issue ang NTC batay umano sa payo ng Solgen ng cease and desist order laban sa ABS-CBN upang patigilin ang operasyon ng kanilang himpilan. Ikinagulat ito ng lahat. Ayon sa NTC, sa kanilang tugon sa liham kay Speaker Cayetano at Chairman Alvarez, noong Mayo 14, iginagalang daw nila ang House of the People kung kaya't dinirektahan nila ang Kongreso na magpasa o magpasa na lang ng batas para sa renewal ng ABS-CBN. Ladies and gentlemen, ayon sa House Resolution ng ating kasamang si Kong Mike Defensor, such act of NTC due to the influence of Solicitor General is a total disregard to the lawful order and authority of the House of Representatives. Sa nasabing resolusyon ni Congressman Michael Defensor, pinaimbestigahan din niya ang NTC at Solgen sa posibleng criminal cases of perjury, violation of anti-graft and corrupt practices, and violation of Code of Conduct of Public Officials. Ang Committee on Legislative Franchises ang siyang nagain ng show cause order sa NTC para maipaliwanag nila kung bakit hindi sila dapat kasuhan ng contempt. Aalamin natin sa pagdinig na ito kung sila ba talaga ay may nilabag o nilabag ba nila ang constitutional right ng ABS-CBN sa equal protection of laws? Dahil ang
there are many parts, yet one body. Ating mga kababayan, Chairman Alvarado, Chairman Alvarez, ating pong mga bisita from ABS-CBN, ating pong mga advocates against the renewal or a new franchise, colleagues, magandang hapon po. So first reminder lang sa atin lahat, whatever happens, we are one body. The Philippines is one body with many parts. The archipelagic nature of our country ensures that we will never be homogeneous in our culture, our tradition, and our belief. Regionalism, tribalism, and political factionism is and always be a challenge for us as a nation. But despite these challenges, we can be one body. But this should not be an excuse for us to act like quarrelsome little children. Di tayo pwedeng parang mga bata na walang rational ang arguments just because we come from different places or backgrounds. We have to learn to be bigger than that which divides us and not allow our own mistrust, ignorance, and hate turn us against each other. Sadly, even as we stand on the verge of a new age, these lessons of the past remain largely ignored. It is still far easier to wallow in our differences instead of celebrating our commonalities. A few months ago, I asked that we all do a little soul searching so that our viewpoints may extend not just to the present, but to include reflections of our past and hope for the future. That we may see the importance of community and solidifying our core values as one nation. Sa crisis po, sinasabi, the best and the worst of us comes out. And the best and worst will flow from our core values. I am happy that Congress, despite all these distractions, all these challenges, have remained steadfast in its commitment to prioritize essential legislation, particularly those relating to the COVID-19 pandemic, to saving lives and saving people's livelihood. Just this morning, the Defeat COVID Committee, headed by our Majority Leader Martin Romualdez, and I'd like to thank him, approved the Philippine Economic Stimulus Act, and thank you to the Economic Stimulus Cluster, the Anti-Discrimination Against Persons with Suspected, Probable, and Confirmed Cases of COVID-19, the paper from the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries. These three measures will form part of Congress' larger AIM, or the Adapt, Innovate, and Manage initiative. It will ease the impact of the virus on those most vulnerable sectors of our society. The Bayanihan We Heal as One Act, despite some delays and mistakes in its implementation, is good law. It covered the last 2 months. Now we are called upon as a nation and here in Congress to discern, to pray, and to work hard towards crafting a new and comprehensive law towards that will address our new lives, our new economy, and what everyone is now calling our new normal. This is an example of one part of the body taking care of the others that are hurting or in need of care. As representatives of the people, we have a duty to listen to what they say. But as leaders of the community, we also have a responsibility to temper what is popular with what we know is right. So ulitin ko po yun ha, bilang representante po ng tao, obligasyon natin i-represent sila, alamin ang opinion nila. Pero bilang leaders nila, kailangan hindi parati kung ano popular, kung ano tama. So paano po natin mapagdidikit yung dalawa? Mapagdidikit po natin yung dalawa kung fair at transparent ang hearing. So by allowing the people to hear both sides, what is popular and what is right will hopefully intersect. This is why we are aiming for a better normal and not just back to what we were before. This is why we want to pass laws that will future-proof our educational system, and protect and strengthen businesses and livelihoods. This is why Congress is pushing against the popular tide of the ABS-CBN issue to be heard right away at the start of the year or the end of last year, while we continue to lay the foundation for our collective better futures. Many of our countrymen are looking for direction in this world of the new normal. In a blink of an eye, much has changed. Dati ang ginagamit na word game extremist sa magkabilang dulo ng usapang ito. Ngunit hindi namin pwedeng gawin yon dahil yun po ay mali. Ang tama ay pakinggan ang bawat panig, dinggin ang mga facts, bigyan ng pagkakataon magsalita ang bawat isa at magdesisyon ng patas. Tama po na bigyan pagkakataon magsalita ang bawat isa at magdesisyon ng patas. Tama po na bigyan ng pagkakataon magsalita ang bawat isa at magdesisyon ng patas. Paulit-ulit po namin sasabihin yan. Tama po na bigyan ng importansya ang opinyon ng lahat sa paghahanap ng katotohanan. Mali po ang pagbubuli, pananakot at pag-iinsulto sa isa't isa. I began my statement by talking about the Philippines as one body with many parts. Congress, being a responsible part of this body, is committed to holding a fair, impartial, comprehensive, and thorough examination of all facts regarding this issue. That commitment has not wavered nor changed despite all the criticism that had been thrown at Congress and at me personally. And I have full confidence in the leadership of Chairman Alvarez and of Chairman Alvarado and of the rest of Congress. It is not a secret that I would have preferred another time to do this. But here we are, and it is time to do what is right. It is right to put an end to this issue, but it is wrong to use the issue to create more divisiveness. After all, the vitriol and the hate we have seen from this one issue, is it good that franchises are given every 25 years? Yes. We cannot survive this kind of partisanship if we have to do this every year. But let me echo Luke 6, verses 27 to 28, and say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Huwag po nating hayaan ang galit at puot ang mangibabaw sa usapan ito. Hindi po yan ang ugaling Pilipino. Hindi po yan ang tamang gawain ng mabuting mamayan. Magdebate po tayo, ipaglaban natin ang ating prinsipyo at paninindigan, pero magmahalan din po tayo bilang Pilipino. This hearing is not just about the network and its franchise. It is also about Congress and how we conduct it ourselves. And this I will promise. We will listen to the facts as they are presented and weigh the opinions as they are given. But we will not be bullied, we will not be threatened, we will not be ignored nor manipulated by anyone from doing our duty, from doing what is right. I therefore enjoin all advocates from both sides, those pushing for the 25-year franchise, and those who are against, whether you are here present today you are in the Zoom meetings or you have not attended this hearing, pumunta po kayo dito sa hearings, sabihin yung inyong opinion, present nyo po ang facts. And I also enjoin leaders as one body to decide not just for this generation, for our generation, but let us decide for the next generation of Filipinos. Let us hear all sides with an open mind. Gawin natin ang alam natin na tama. History will look back at the 18th Congress and say, they stood for what is right. Thank you, Chairman, and our full support sa inyong paghihiring sa mga susunod na linggo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now let us recognize the Honorable Majority Leader Ferdinand Martin Romualdez for his address.
Honorable Speaker Alan Peter Compañero S. Cayetano, Legislative Franchises Committee Chairperson Franz Chicoy E. Alvarez, and Good Government and Public Accountability Committee Chairperson Kuya Jose Antonio R.C. Alvarado, esteemed members of the committee, honorable members of this august chamber, guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. First of all, please allow me to welcome you to your House of Representatives and thank you for your precious time in attending this joint meeting of the Committee of Legislative Franchises and the Committee on Good Government and Accountability. Our objective in the conduct of the deliberation is twofold. The first is to determine whether ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation merits the congressional grant of the special privilege to operate a nationwide radio and television broadcasting franchise. And second, to ferret out the truth on certain alleged anomalies and violations committed by ABS-CBN. Our Honorable Speaker has reiterated during our previous plenary sessions and in his opening statement that the conduct of the hearings on the issues hurled against the ABS-CBN franchise will be fair, impartial, and thorough. Rest assured that as your majority floor leader, I fully subscribe to this guiding dictum. However, please allow me to supplement an overarching precept. The primary duty of the members of the House of Representatives is to legislate. Our own House rules specifically provides that members shall, among others, prepare, introduce, and work on the passage of legislative measures to effectively address social, political, and economic needs and concerns. I would like to underscore that during the course of the deliberations and inquiries in aid of legislation before this honorable joint committee, we will not be distracted and we will not lose track on shepherding priority legislations that will answer and cater to the needs of the welfare of the people, especially in these challenging times and during this pandemic. We must work doubly hard not only to arrive at the decision on whether to grant the franchise application of ABS-CBN, but perhaps even more importantly, to craft and put into fruition the passage of the priority measures relative to the fight against the pandemic and the eventual defeat of COVID-19. In fact, this morning, before attending this joint meeting, I presided over 3 committee hearings, deliberating on proposed measures that will ensure our victory over the COVID-19 crisis. And to it, my first formal meeting was at 9:30 a.m., where the Social Amelioration Cluster of the Defeat COVID-19 Ad Hoc Committee tackled the measure of establishing the COVID-19 Employment and Reduction Economic Stimulus, or otherwise known as the CURES Bill, that Deputy Speaker L.A. Villafuerte so effectively guided this morning. And this is for the institution of the mechanism for the implementation thereof. My second meeting was at 10:30 a.m., where the Defeat COVID-19 Ad Hoc Mother Committee adopted the recommendations and approved priority measures of the Financial Institution Strategic Transfer, or the FIST Bill, the Philippine Economic Stimulus Act, the PESA Bill, and the Anti-Discrimination Against Persons with Suspected, Probable, and Confirmed Cases of COVID. And our third meeting was held at 11:30 a.m., where this representation as the chair of the Rules Committee met with the other members of the said committee to include in the calendar of business for our plenary this afternoon several significant measures. Thus, it is only on this premise and context that I support the continuous hearings of the Committee on Legislative Franchises on the franchise application of ABS-CBN. In fact, this afternoon, I will move in the plenary session prior to its adjournment sine die to authorize not only this committee, but all the committees to conduct its hearings and deliberations on noteworthy and meaningful proposed legislations, even while on recess. Thank you, and I wish you all a pleasant and a productive day ahead.
Thank you, Majority Leader Martin Romualdez. Before we move on to the rules of procedure, the Chair would like to recognize other members present via Zoom. Congressman Nieto, Congresswoman Rosas, she's also present here. Congresswoman Villar, Congresswoman Sheena Tan, Congressman Eduardo Gullias, Congressman Datol, Congresswoman Abreg Saldivar, Deputy Speaker Don Gonzales, Congressman Ino D, Congressman Benitez, Congressman Balindong, Deputy Speaker Mikey Romero, Congressman Eric Martinez, Congresswoman Costello, Congressman Ferrer, Congresswoman Colliantes, Congressman Enrico Pineda, Congresswoman Bautista, Congressman Vargas, Congresswoman Angelina Tan, Congresswoman Fariñas, and Congresswoman Kimbo. Likewise, we also have via Zoom NTC Commissioner Cordoba. May we now request our esteemed member, Alfredo Garbin Jr. of Ako Bicol Party List to explain the rules of procedure to be observed in our hearings.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Let me lay out to you the rules of procedure to be observed by the Joint Committee. Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano promised the Joint Committees shall hold a fair, impartial, and comprehensive hearings and will allow a thorough presentation and representation of the evidence with regard to the franchise application of ABS-CBN. The Joint Committees will do just that. There are many issues to tackle based on the position papers that have been submitted so far. There are many issues. Mahalaga po ang mga kasagutan sa mga issue para malaman kung dapat hindi bigyan o dapat bigyan ng prangkisa ang ABS-CBN. The decision of the Joint Committee cannot be reached in one sitting only. Iisa-isahin po natin ang mga issues na napapaloob sa franchise application ng ABS-CBN. Sa hearings po, una, maglalaan po tayo ng hearing sa bawat issue na kailangang talakayin. And each hearing for a particular issue, unang magpipresenta ang ABS-CBN at pagkatapos ay susundan ng tao o partidong kontra dito. Both ABS-CBN and the respective oppositors can present their side by themselves or through a representative like a lawyer or their own official. The parties will be allowed to present documents, audiovisual presentations, and witnesses during the meeting or the hearing. In the interest of fairness, itong mga dokumento, audiovisual presentations, and affidavits of witnesses ay kailangan isumite sa Joint Committee 3 araw bago ang naturang hearing kung kailan ipipresenta ang mga ito. Ang Joint Committees ay magbibigay ng kopya ng dokumento, audiovisual presentations, and affidavits sa mga miyembro nila at iba pang interesado or interested parties. The affidavits will be read and documents and ABPs will be shown during the hearing. The affidavits of witnesses shall serve as their testimony. The members of the Joint Committees can question or examine all witnesses and presenters of documents and audiovisual presentations to determine authenticity and the truth of the matters alleged therein. The Joint Committees may invite resource persons like experts, groups, sectors, constituencies, and individuals to give their opinion on an issue or subject. Bibigyan po ng prior notice sa mga resource person para makapaghanda sila ng kailangan dokumento at pag-aralan ang mga isyong dapat nilang talakayin. The Joint Committee may also invite resource person, the relevant officials from various agencies of the government, as they have the expertise and experience that the members need the determination of the issues involving ABS-CBN. The members of the Joint Committee may also question or examine the resource persons. The Joint Committee may subpoena documents and persons so they can be presented during the hearing. And while ABS-CBN may be represented by counsel during the hearings, the presence of its principal officers in each hearing is strictly required by rules. The principal officers include the President, the Chief Operating Officer, the Chief Executive Officer, and the Chief Finance Officer, the Corporate Secretary, and the Chief Technical Officer or their equivalents. Pagdating naman po sa pagboto, after all the parties, including the resource persons and witnesses heard, the joint committees will start the deliberation and thereafter magbobotohan na po. Only the members of the joint committee are allowed to vote. I repeat, only the members of the joint committee are allowed to vote. And ang majority po ng boto ang mananaig. Kapag ang mga aligasyon na ibinato or kapag mas madami ang pumabor, pasado ang aplikasyon sa committee level. Kung hindi naman, denied ang application. Inuulit ko po, maraming isyong nakapaloob at mga aligasyon na ibinato kaugnay sa franchise application ng ABS-CBN at tungkulin ng komite at tiyaking ang prangkisa na ibibigay ay makakabuti sa kapakanan ng ating bayan at kapwa Pilipino. Inaasahan namin na ang lahat ng members ng Joint Committee at ang buong Kongreso, gayon din ang mga partido, witnesses at resource persons, kabilang na ang lahat ng ating mga bisita dito sa Kongreso, na sundin at igalang ang mga patakaran na hiniain ng Joint Committee upang matiyak ang maayos at makatarungan na pagdinig sa franchise application ng ABS-CBN. Tandaan natin na ang prosesong nabanggit ay isang guide para sa pandinig na ito. The Joint Committee should not be bound by strict adherence to technicalities when it comes to finding out the truth. May mga pagkakataon na kinakailangan maging maluwag tayo upang masigurado natin ang makatarungan at mabilis na pagre-resolba ng mga issues. Kasama ng sambayanang Pilipino, isa lamang naman po ang gusto ng ating mga pandinig ng aplikasyon ng ABS-CBN na maging impartial at objective, na maging patas upang makuha natin ang katotohanan sa mga paratang na ibinatos laban sa ABS-CBN at maging gabay sa bawat mababatas sa pagboto kung dapat ba o hindi dapat bigyan ng prangkisa ang ABS-CBN. Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Chair.
Congresswoman Rosas.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Just a clarificatory question with regards to the rules of procedure, Mr. Chair. Yes. Mr. Chair, good afternoon. Dear colleagues and guests, I am happy that finally the Committee on Legislative Franchise convened after a long break. However, I was expecting that this hearing is a continuation of what has begun last March 10. Kung maalala po ninyo, last March 10, the committee promised that as soon as the session resumes this May, it will deliberate the measures on the renewal of the ABS-CBN franchise and allow us, sponsors, to deliver our sponsorship speeches. Dahil po joint hearing ang nakaschedule sa araw na ito at ang primarya sa joint hearing na ito, yung nakasalang na resolutions, hindi po ba tatagalang pagtalakay sa mismong mga franchise bills? Mr. Chair, I would like to know, o gusto ko lang pong malaman at maitala sa record kung kailan yung petsa ng actual deliberation ng aming mga panukala, Mr. Chair.
Congresswoman Rosas, start na po natin ngayon. But just like what I explained when tumawag po ako sa lahat po ng authors para pakiusapan po, na kung maaari po, dahil meron pa po tayong session, mamaya marami rin pong importante pa po na itatalakay, na lahat po ng sponsorship ng lahat ng authors ay sama-sama na po sa ating next hearing para po tuloy-tuloy po tayo. Para hindi naman po may mauna lang, tapos yung iba sa sunod. So ito, isang hearing lang po na tuloy-tuloy po ang lahat ng authors po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Pwede na po bang malaman kung kailan yon, Mr. Chair? Pwede po bang maitakda ngayon,
Kung
Mr.
hayaan na po
Chair?
natin na Congressman Rosas na matapos na itong ating lahat ng nasa agenda, by the end of this hearing, malalaman na po natin.
I would like to suggest, Mr. Chair, as early as possible. Ano po, kung po pwede, dahil meron lang tayong isang hearing on Friday, kung pwede po sanang ganon or sa immediate. Maraming salamat po. Suggestion lang po yun. Thank you very much,
Duly
Mr.
noted
Chair.
po, Congressman
Point
Rosas.
of order, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you.
Quick point of order, Mr. Chair. I'd
Congressman
just like
Defensor.
to clarify, Mr. Chair, that the previous hearing that started in March 10 does not relate whatsoever to the current hearing, Mr. Chair, because doon po sa mga nangyaring naging problema doon sa prangkisa. So gusto ko lang ho, Mr. Chair, ilagay yun sa record kasi baka ho ang ilagay parang continuation to nung dating hearing. Hindi po. Bago po itong hearing dahil nga po sa nangyaring expiration ng franchise. And I agree with the wisdom of the chair kung paano pong ayusin yung mga prangkisa na for renewal at kung ito po'y bagong renewal at ito iniwan ko sa desisyon ng ating komite. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Defensor. There are 12 bills pertaining to the franchise application of ABS-CBN, which were referred to the Committee on Legislative Franchises. 11 of those bills are for renewal, namely House Bill 676 by Congresswoman Violago, House Bill 3521 by Deputy Speaker Arenas, 3713 by Congresswoman Tambunting, 3947 by Congresswoman Aragones, 4305 by Deputy Speaker Santos Recto, 5608 by Deputy Speakers Gonzales, Pimentel, and Congressman Lechon, 5705 by Congressman Rodriguez, 5763 by Congresswoman Ramirez Sato, 6052 by the Makabayan Bloc, 6138 by Congressman Go, and 6293 by Deputy Speaker Legarda. One bill is for a new grant, House Bill 6654 by Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. So lahat po ng ating mga 12 bills na for renewal ay Congressman Tonitino.
Point of clarification, Mr. Chairman. We are talking of a new franchise here. So are we going to consider all those filed bills wherein the title are all renewal? So renewal is different from new bills. So the process should be bills in index, then first reading, referral. So are we going to consider all those bills filed with title of renewals? But of course, there's one bill filed by Congressman Rufus for a new franchise.
All the 12 bills, all the 11 bills for franchise renewal will be amended and consolidated to the bill of Congressman Rufus Rodriguez for a new grant. So i-amend po natin and consolidate na lang po para ma-simplify na po lahat. And then we also have 3 resolutions at hand. House Resolution 639 by Representative Lagman and a number of members regarding the immediate processing of the House bills filed. House Resolution 846 by Congressman Mike Defensor for an inquiry on the perjury by NTC and Solgen and on their possible violation on anti-graft laws. And then House Resolution 853 by Deputy Speaker Duterte, Congressman Tolentino, and Yap. House Resolutions 846 and 853 are jointly referred to the Committees on Legislative Franchises and Good Government. We also included the show cause order issued to NTC's officials requiring them to explain why they should not be cited for contempt. Their response, which has been received by this committee, forms part of this hearing. We will have the sponsorship of the said measures under consideration at the next hearing. So now we move on to the opening statement by ABS-CBN. We now recognize Mr. Carlo Katigbak, President of ABS-CBN, to give the opening statement.
The Honorable Chairman of the House Committee on Legislative Franchises, Congressman Franz Alvarez. the Honorable Chairman of the House Committee on Good Government, Congressman Jose Antonio C. Alvarado, the Honorable Speaker of the House, Alan Peter Cayetano, the Honorable Majority Floor Leader, Martin Romualdez, the Honorable Members of this committee, the Honorable Members of the House present at the plenary and on Zoom, good afternoon. Para sa ating mga Pilipino, ang pagmamahal sa pamilya ay pinakamahalaga. Ang ABS-CBN po ay ang aking pamilya. Isang pamilya ng 11,000 taong naghahangad magserbisyo sa bayan. Sa nakalipas na mga linggo, nagdurusa po ang pamilya ko. Nag-aalala sila na mawawalan sila ng trabaho. Natatakot sila para sa kanilang kinabukasan at sa kinabukasan ng kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. Ang sakit po ng pakiramdam. Alam po namin na sa panahon ng pandemya, napakahirap pong mawalan ng trabaho dahil hindi madaling makahanap ng panibagong hanap buhay. May nagsasabi sa social media na nagpapaawa lang daw kami. Sana po makausap ninyo ang isang tatay o nanay na mawawalan ng hanap buhay. Sana po maramdaman ninyo ang takot nila kapag iniisip nila kung papaano nila bubuhayin at papakainin ang kanilang pamilya. Sana po pakinggan ninyo ang boses ng aming mga kapamilya. Sinabi ng Presidente ng aming rank and file union, hindi na kami makatulog sa pangangamba. Hindi po kami nagpapaawa. Umaapela po kami. Ibalik niyo po ang ABS-CBN para maprotektahan namin ang 11,000 kong kapamilya at ang kanilang mga minamahal sa buhay. We want to do everything we can to protect our employees. Pero may hangganan din ang kakayahan ng kumpanya namin. Habang wala kami sa ere, palaki ng palaki ang nalulugi sa amin. At sa mga darating na linggo, mapipilitan na kami maglabas ng listahan ng mga empleyadong mawawalan ng trabaho. Sana makita po ng Kongreso na nasa kapangyarihan ninyo ang kinabukasan nila. Sa tingin po namin, wala pong dahilan kung bakit hindi pwedeng ibigay ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. There have been many accusations thrown against us about alleged violations of laws or violations of our franchise. Sinasabi po ng mga bumabatiko sa amin, the law is the law. And we agree. The law is the law. And under the law, we are innocent unless proven guilty. Up to now, there is no court that has determined we have broken any laws. Sabi po ng BIR, bayad ang aming buwis. Nanggaling po sa SEC na aprobado sa kanila ang pag-issue ng mga PDR. Ang Department of Justice ang nagsabi na hindi labag sa prangkisa ang KBO. Ang DOLE naman ay nagsabi na sumunod kami sa lahat ng compliance orders nila. Wala po kaming nilabag na batas. Pero inaamin namin na hindi kami isang perpektong organisasyon. May mga kakulangan din po kami at handa naming ayusin ang mga ito. I know there are congressmen who feel there are things that we can do to be a better company. And we agree with you. Mark Lopez, our chairman, and I both commit that even if a franchise is given to us, we will not stop listening to you. And we will continuously take actions that make us a better company. Your Honors, masakit po itong nangyari sa amin. Umasa po kami sa hangarin ninyo at ng Senado na habang pinag-uusapan ng prangkisa, hindi po kami mawawala sa ere. Sa pag-shutdown namin, marami sa ating mga kababayan ang nawalan ng serbisyo ng ABS-CBN, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya. Nasa 70 million po ang nanonood ng ABS-CBN bawat linggo. Kailangan nila ang balita para sa kanilang kaligtasan o hanap buhay. At habang hindi sila makalabas ng bahay, marami ang nangangailangan ng mga programang nagbibigay ng saya, inspirasyon, tibay ng loob at pag-asa. Milyon-milyong OFW din po ang umaasa sa ABS-CBN para maibsan ang kanilang lungkot habang nagsasakripisyo sila para sa pamilya. Nung nag-umpisa ang quarantine at gutom ang naging problema ng bayan, agad po kaming kumilos para makatulong. Sa suporta ng iba't ibang kumpanya, at sa donasyong nanggaling sa publiko, ang Pantawid ng Pag-ibig ay nakapaghatid ng pagkain sa 3 milyong tao sa NCR, Laguna, Cavite, Rizal at Bulacan. Para po sa amin, ang magmalasakit ay tungkulin ng aming kumpanya bilang isang tunay na kapamilya. Sana pakinggan niyo na lang po ang boses ng ating mga kababayan na nagsasabi kung gaano kahalaga ang serbisyo ng ABS-CBN para sa kanila. Sa aming mga kapamilya, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng suportang ibinibigay ninyo sa amin. Sana maparamdam ninyo sa inyong mga mambabatas kung gaano kahalaga ang ABS-CBN para sa inyo. Naniniwala po kami, ang pagbigay ng isang prangkisa ay nakasalalay sa serbisyong na ibibigay sa taong bayan. ABS-CBN deserves a future only if it has made your lives better. Your Honors, nasa mga kamay ninyo ang kapakanan ng marami. Ang aming mga empleyado at ang kanilang mga pamilya, ang ating mga kababayan na umaasa sa serbisyo ng ABS-CBN. Hinihingi po namin na bigyan ng prangkisa ang ABS-CBN. Tapat po kaming naglilingkod sa bayan sa mahabang panahon. Wala po kaming nilibag na batas at nangangako po kami na patuloy kaming magsusumikap na maging mas mabuting kumpanya. We commit that even after receiving our franchise, we will have the humility to listen to the public on how ABS-CBN can continually be of better service to our country. Thank you for this opportunity. We place our trust in your love for family and your love for country. Maraming salamat po. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, may we show a short video.
Those opposed to the application, the Chair would like to recognize additional members who are joining us today via Zoom. Congressman Enverga, Congresswoman Suarez, Congressman Chato, Deputy Speaker Pimentel, Deputy Speaker Legarda, Congresswoman Elago, Congressman Palma, Congressman Pablo John Garcia, Congressman Kabatbat, Congressman Lara, Congresswoman Bernadette Herrera D, Congressman Jaresco, Colliantes, Goriseta, Aglipay, and Abel Llanosa.
Thank you, Chairman. We had invited Solicitor General Jose Calida to deliver the opening statement of those opposing the franchise application of ABS-CBN. Alam na po nating lahat na wala po dito si Solgen. So we ask and now recognize Deputy Speaker Rodante Marcoleta of Sagip Party List to deliver the opening statement of those opposing the franchise application of ABS-CBN. Deputy Speaker, you are now recognized.
Meron po akong pin-repair na konti ring slide. Sana po may pakita muna bago ako magpatuloy.
Pwede po, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta.
Law, ibig sabihin batas. So kaya ginawa ang batas sa isang democratic country na kung nasaan tayo ngayon is para maging pantay-pantay ang lahat ng tao. Sa classroom may batas, bawal lumabas o bawal lumabas. Pero pag sinabing pag nag-comply ka na bawal lumabas, pero may ginawa ka sa pinagbabawal nila, inayos mo yung law ng classroom nyo at sinabmit mo ulit, ay pwede nang pala ikaw lumabas.
Mr. Speaker,
No.
my distinguished colleagues, hindi po nag-comply sa batas ang ABS-CBN, kaya hindi po sila pwedeng lumabas at magpalabas. Those opposing the franchise application of ABS-CBN will show with clear and convincing evidence that ABS-CBN did not comply with the terms and conditions of its franchise, as well as our laws and the Constitution. In fact, They will show in the succeeding hearings of the Committee on Legislative Franchises that ABS-CBN deliberately and with impunity violated the conditions of its legislative franchise and more sober laws and the Constitution. Matagal na po kasi ang mga aligasyong ito. Hindi mamatay-matay, lumulutang sa internet, nasa labi ng mga Pilipino. Hindi seryosong binigyan ng pansin. Bakit po? Tikom ang bibig ng may kakayahang magsiwalat nito dahil takot sa maimpluwensyang network na kayang sirain ng tao, kandidato man o hindi. Salamat at ganap na ninindigan si Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano at hindi inalintana ang mga tuligsa sa kanya at pinayagan niya na magkaroon ng patas, bukas at malawak ang pagdinig sa mga aligasyong ito katulad ng nagaganap sa araw na ito. Ang banggit nga po sa John 8:32 ay ganito, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Violation of the Constitution. Number 1, franchise is longer than 50 years. Hindi na po dapat payagan itong pagre-renew ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Dapat na pong isara ang pinto para sa kanila. Bakit po? Because the ABS-CBN has been using the airwaves for more than 50 years. 53 years today, to be exact. Our Constitution says that Congress can grant a franchise of up to 50 years only. Taong 1957, nang makuha ni Don Eugenio Lopez Sr., may-ari ng Chronicle Broadcasting Network o CBN, ang Alto Broadcasting System o ABS. Simula po noong 1967 ay naging ABS-CBN na po ang tawag dito dahil sa merger ng ABS at CBN. Kung susumahin po natin ang prangkisa nito simula noong 1967, ay 53 taon na po itong gumagamit ng airwaves magpahanggang ngayon. 63 years naman po kung susumahin natin mula po ng pagkakakuha ng CBN sa ABS noong 1957. The Committee on Legislative Franchises should not allow itself to be used by ABS-CBN to again circumvent the Constitution and violate the categorical 50-year limitation imposed on franchises. Hindi na po dapat buhayin muli ng Kongreso ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN sapagkat ayon po sa ating saligang batas, ang buhay ng prangkisa ay hindi dapat lumampas ng 50 taon. EDSA Revolution. Siguro po may mga ngatwiran at sasabihin ng ganito. Isinara naman ng martial law ang ABS-CBN. Di po ba? Dapat huwag bilangin ang panahon na yon. Tanggapin po natin sandali na isinara nga ang ABS-CBN simula Setyembre 23, 1972, pagkatapos na ideklara ang martial law. Pero hindi po ba nagbukas din ito agad matapos na ito ay mabawing muli ng pamilya Lopez noong EDSA Revolution? Hindi ba't kulang-kulang 13 taon din po ang namagitan na panahon? So let's assume that we subtract 13 years from the 63 years that ABS-CBN has been in operation starting 1957 when CBN acquired ABS. Hindi ba't 50 taon din po ang magiging resulta? Ibig pong sabihin, tapos na at paso na pa rin ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN with or without martial law. Hindi ba't sobra-sobra pa rin ito at lalabag pa rin sa ating saligang batas? Naging palasak nga noong panahon ng martial law ang kantsaw na tama na, sobra na. Subalit ang mahalagang tanong po ng taong bayan na hindi pa nasasagot magpahanggang ngayon ay kung paano biglang nabawi ng mga Lopez ang ABS-CBN mula sa pag-aari ng gobyerno pagkatapos maitalaga ang Cory administration. Sinulatan po noon ni dating Senador Lorenzo Tanyada ang Presidential Commission on Good Government na isoli na sa mga Lopez ang ABS-CBN kahit may arbitration pang nagaganap sa pagitan ng pamahalaan at ABS-CBN na i-turn over po agad ang istasyon ng ABS-CBN sa mga Lopez sa kabila ng wala pang pagtukoy sa tunay na pagmimay-ari nito ayon sa kautusan sa Board of Administrators na binuo sa Letter of Instruction number 1 ni Pangulong Cory Aquino. Sa ngayon po ay wala man lang mailabas na papeles tungkol dito ang PCGG. Nagbayad po ba ang ABS-CBN sa Administrasyong Cory Aquino? Nag-public bidding po ba? Bakit tila ura-urada at habang magulo pa ang lahat dahil katatapos lang ng EDSA Revolution, ay biglang napasakamay na muli ng mga Lopez ang ABS-CBN? Nakabatay po ba ito sa batas? Hindi po ba dapat sagutin ng ABS-CBN ang mga tanong na ito upang mapanagot po ang dapat na managot kung meron man? Foreign ownership. Puntahan naman po natin ang muling pagbubukas ng ABS-CBN noong 1986. Pati po kasi noong panahon yun ay may paglabag na rin sa ating saligang batas. Ano po kaya yun? Dahil Amerikano at hindi Pilipino ang may-ari at namahala sa ABS-CBN na mariing ipinagbabawal ng saligang batas. Congress should deny the franchise application of ABS-CBN for its clear violation of the Constitution, requiring 100% Filipino ownership and management of mass media companies. ABS-CBN's former president, Mr. Eugenio Gaby Lopez III, was an American citizen when he took the helm of the company in 1986 as director, then president, and then chairman in the later years. It was only in 2000 that he petitioned for recognition of Filipino citizenship and was issued a certificate of recognition as a Filipino citizen in 2002. At kahit sabihin po natin wala na ngayon sa management ng ABS-CBN si Ginoong Gaby Lopez, nagpatuloy pa rin ba sa paglabag sa saligang batas ang ABS-CBN? Opo. Dahil magpahanggang ngayon ay nagbebenta pa po sila sa mga banyaga, mga hindi Pilipino, ng pag-aari o ownership rights ng ABS-CBN. Through an intricate web of corporate layering, ABS-CBN lets non-Filipinos to own its common shares through the issuance of Philippine Depositary Receipts o PDRs. In September 1999, the ABS-CBN Holdings Corporation offered 132 million Philippine Depositary Receipts underlying the 132 million common shares of ABS-CBN. Immediately prior to the closing of the PDR's offering, Lopez Incorporated, the main stockholder of ABS-CBN Corporation, transferred 132 million ABS-CBN shares to ABS-CBN Holding Corporation, its alter ego. With the many rights afforded to the holders of these PDRs, most of whom, if not all, are foreigners, ABS-CBN Corporation virtually allowed these foreign holders beneficial ownership and potential voting rights. This is a circumvention of the strict foreign equity restriction imposed by the Constitution on mass media companies. Quite obviously, the ABS-CBN PDR instrument, a creative financial mechanism, is being used as a subterfuge to indirectly own the underlying ABS-CBN shares of stock. Violation of workers' rights under the Constitution. ABS-CBN violated the rights of its own workers. It denied them their just share in production as required by the Constitution. It committed unfair labor practices, which consequently denied its employees the benefits required by law to be provided to all employees. Isang halimbawa po dito ay ang asunto na isinampa ng halos 100 o mahigit sa 100 manggagawa ng ABS-CBN sa National Labor Relations Commission o NLRC dahil sa pagtanggal sa kanila dahil sila raw ay mga talents lamang at hindi mga regular na empleyado. Nanalo po ang mga manggagawa sa NLRC at maging sa Court of Appeals. Bakit hindi na lang nila sinunod ang hatol at umapila pa ang ABS-CBN sa Korte Suprema? Ito ba yung sinasabi po kanina sa opening salvo na ang pagmamahal sa kanilang kapamilya ay ganun na lamang? Mali naman po yata na sabihin ng ABS-CBN na lampas sa 11,000 ang mga empleyado nito dahil kung ito po ay masusi nating iimbestigahan, may 2,661 lamang. 2,661 ang mga regular na empleyado nito. Ang karamihan po o mahigit na 8,500 na kawani ng ABS-CBN ay tinagurian nilang independent contractors or talents, project workers at contractuals lamang kahit na pang-regular na empleyo ang trabaho nila. Ayon po sa ating labor code, kapag pang-regular ang tungkulin ng isang manggagawa, dapat siyang gawing regular employee. Hindi dapat contractual. Hindi dapat independent contractor, talent, o kaya'y project worker lang. Malinaw na labag sa batas ang ginagawa ng ABS-CBN. Sana ay ibalita rin po ito ng TV Patrol upang mabunyag ang libo-libong endo sa kanilang bakuran. ABS-CBN has not regularized its contractual workers and talents despite performing the functions of regular workers. It even forced some of its workers to sign employment contracts containing waiver of the right to regularization. And those who refuse were unceremoniously terminated from work. ABS-CBN has subcontracted most of its production work to subcontractor production companies, despite the fact that production is directly related to its core business. These production entities are paid minimally, whose workers obviously get lesser benefits and take-home pay compared to ABS-CBN's regular employees. And yet, the profit generated by ABS-CBN from its independent production companies appear greater than its expenses, especially those expenses that are even deductible for income tax purposes. Kung kaya't hindi po may kakaila sa publiko na napakarami ng labor cases na hinarap at haharapin pa ng ABS-CBN. Ang masaklap pa po dito ni hindi nagbibigay ng contribution ang ABS-CBN para sa benepisyo ng kanilang mga empleyado. Dahil po sa 2,661 lang ang regular employees nito, ang mga ito lang ang may benepisyo. Ang iba po na mahigit 8,500 na nagtatrabaho sa ABS-CBN ay wala po ni katiting na government-mandated benefits na natatanggap katulad ng SSS, PhilHealth o kaya Pag-ibig. Kanina po sa opening salvo, narinig po natin na ang kanila pong isinasangkalan ay yung kanila pong mga kawani, mga manggagawa. Ang Kongreso pong ito ay nakikidalamhati. Nalulungkot din po. Bakit naman po hindi? Kung pwede po nating ipaghalimbawa, sandali lamang po, ang ABS-CBN sa isang jeepney driver. Alam po niya na wala siyang prangkisa. Nagsakay po siya ng napakaraming pasahero. Yung mga pasahero naman po, bago sumakay doon, hindi naman niya tatanungin sa driver, Mamang driver, mamang chopper, kayo po ba ay may prangkisa? Yung rota po ba ninyo, pinapayagan yan? Wala pong nagtatanong na gano'n kasi mabilisan eh. Pare-pareho pong nagmamadali. Ano pong masita siya ng LTFRB? Gagamitin po ba nung driver na yon o nung taxi driver na yon o yung bus operator na yon? Kawawa naman po yung pasahero namin kung patitigilin mo ngayon. Meron pong pupunta sa ospital, meron pong pupunta sa trabaho, meron pong pupunta sa eskwela. Napakarami pong gawain itong mga taong ito. Ito po ba ang ibibigay po ninyong halimbawa? Hindi po ba dapat kayo muna ang kauna-unahan na nag-isip ng kapakanan nila? Ilagay ninyo sa magandang kalagayan ang pagpapatupad ng prangkisa ninyo at wala pong malalagay sa alanganin. Huwag po ninyong isasangkalan ngayon ang inyong mga manggagawa at kani-kanilang pamilya. Hindi po ganon. Sasagutin po ninyong aligasyon na ito, hindi po sa pamamagitan ng emotional appeal. If this indeed the true house of the people, the Committee on Legislative Franchises must side with the poor workers of ABS-CBN in denying its franchise, justice to them will be finally served, although ironically, this will also entail some sacrifice on their part. Political bias. ABS-CBN has been biased and partisan in favor of particular candidates and against certain candidates during the 2010 and 2016 presidential elections, contrary to the terms of its franchise and in violation of the Omnibus Election Code. Hindi naman po lingid sa kalaman ng marami, kung hindi man lahat, kung paano naging pro Noynoy Aquino ang ABS-CBN noong 2010 at pro Grace po at Leni Robredo naman noong 2016. It is also a matter of record that ABS-CBN failed to air some of President Duterte's political advertisements during the 2016 campaign period, despite receiving the payment for said political ads. Ang masakit po dito, kung hindi pa sila pinigilan ng korte sa pamamagitan ng isang TRO, ay nakahanda na palang ipalabas ng ABS-CBN sa bisperas mismo ng pagtatapos ng campaign period ng 2016 presidential elections. Ang mga anti-Duterte advertisements na binayaran ng isang dating senador, sinadya ang timing para hindi bigyan ng pagkakataong makasagot pa si Mayor Duterte na noon ay kandidato bilang presidente. Mabuti na lamang at napahinuhod ng ang korte ng petisyon ni Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano na noon po ay Vice Presidential Candidate ni Pangulong Duterte at dagliang nag-issue ng TRO ang korte sa ABS-CBN. It is now a public knowledge that President Rodrigo Duterte and Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano expressed their disappointments over ABS-CBN's unfair reportings and meddling in previous elections. For those opposing the franchise application, hindi na po dapat payagan ng ABS-CBN na muling pakialaman ang politika sa ating bansa. Panahon na para ang taong bayan ang pumili ng mga namumuno na gusto nila at hindi ang napipisil ng ABS-CBN. Paalala lang po sa ABS-CBN, you are a broadcasting company, not a political kingmaker. Either you play ball or you play fair. Multiple channels in one franchise. Mga kababayan, inabuso po ng ABS-CBN ang kanilang prangkisa. Sa hindi nila may paliwanag na dahilan o maaari namang sinadya na gamitin ang kanyang prangkisa para sa isang channel lamang, pero gumamit pa ng ibang prangkisa ng telekomunikasyon na hindi naman pang broadcast upang mas kumita at makapagbenta sa pamamagitan ng maraming channels. ABS-CBN violated the terms and conditions of its franchise by offering its TV Plus boxes for a one-time fee but using the free-to-air signal authorized in the franchise granted by Congress at no cost to ABS-CBN. Tubong lugaw, ika nga. But this practice of ABS-CBN without permission from Congress or the National Telecommunication Commission is killing the cable industry, which depends on monthly based subscription of its clientele. At bukod po sa pagbebenta ng TV Plus box sa publiko, sa Kapamilya Box Office Channel na nakapaloob dito, ay nagawa pang maningil ang ABS-CBN sa bawat pelikulang gustong mapanood ng publiko sa KBO Channel. Ibinenta na nga ang TV Plus box, ibinenta pa rin ang mga palabas na pwedeng mapanood sa TV Plus box. Dobleng tubong lugaw na po ito. Hindi po saklaw ang mga ito sa prangkisa na ipinagkaloob ng Kongreso sa ABS-CBN. ABS-CBN, contrary to the terms and conditions of its franchise, operated this pay-per-view channel, otherwise known as the Kapamilya Box Office or KBO, without a valid permit from the NTC, and despite NTC's order to refrain from operating a PPB until the issuance of an appropriate guideline for the same, ABS-CBN continued its operation until the expiration of its franchise on May 4, 2020. Tax evasion. ABS-CBN also violated the terms and conditions of its franchise by engaging in tax avoidance schemes, which deprived the government of the much-needed revenue. It used its wholly owned subsidiary, Big Dipper Digital Content and Design, Inc., a PESA-registered company, as tax shield. Its main customer is ABS-CBN Hungary. And because of this unconscionable tax avoidance scheme, ABS-CBN alleged effective tax rate in 2018 was at negative 5%. This means that ABS-CBN managed to avoid paying taxes in 2018. Bakit po ang GMA7 na hindi naman kasing laki o kasing yaman ng ABS-CBN ay nakapagbayad ng buwis sa pamahalaan ng 1.6 billion pesos noong 2018? Samantalang ang malaalamat na ABS-CBN ay walang binayarang buwis. Bakit naman nakalibre ang ABS-CBN noong 2018 sa negative income tax nila na 84 million? Ibig sabihin po nito ay may tax credit pa ang ABS-CBN at ang gobyerno pa ang lumalabas na may utang dito. Wala pong pagkakaiba ito, mga kababayan. Sa isang taong nangutang sa tindahan, binigyan pa ito ng sukli. In 2019, ABS-CBN again did not pay its rightful taxes. It avoided this by entering into compromise agreement with the Bureau of Internal Revenue, with the latter accepting the settlement of 152 million pesos plus from ABS-CBN, equivalent to only 40% of its assessed deficiency in income tax, value-added tax, and documentary stamp tax payments. But this is only one among the 4 other cases lodged by the BIR at the Court of Tax Appeals, all of which were also settled by compromise. Bakit po ganun? Hindi po ba nando sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN na babayaran nila lahat ang rightful taxes? Kinakailangan po bang sila ay habla pa ng BIR bago sila mapilitang makapagbayad lamang kahit settlement lamang? Ang linaw po ng kanilang prangkisa na babayaran lahat ang kaukulang buwis. Bakit kailangan pong sila ihabla at idemanda pa ng BIR para lamang sila ay makapagbayad? There are also allegations to date that ABS-CBN's Lingkod Kapamilya Foundation, ALKFI, is being used as ABS-CBN as tax shield, and that ALKFI also failed to file donor's tax return and pay the donor's tax. Ito po ang mas nakalulungkot dito, mga kababayan. Kapag politiko o government official ang nagkawang gawa, epal ang tawag dito ng ABS-CBN. Kahit mula pa sa sariling bulsa ng politiko ang pinanggalingan ito. Pero kapag ito ay galing sa lingkod kapamilya, puro pangalan ng ABS-CBN ang kanilang pinangangalandakan, katulad po ng nakita natin ngayon. Alam naman natin na galing naman sa lahat, sa mga donors ang pondo na ginamit nila. Meron po kayang nanggaling sa yaman ng ABS-CBN. Di baling ang pantulong ng ABS-CBN ay galing sa donasyon ng ibang tao. Di baling ang perang pantulong ay mula sa tax avoidance ng kumpanya. Ang mahalaga ay mapalabas nila sa pamamagitan ng sa mamamayan, katulad po ng nakita natin ngayon na napakabuti at napakabait ng ABS-CBN. Kami po ay naniniwala na unti-unti na pong nabubuksan ang katotohanan sa ating mga mamamayan. Hindi po ba mas maganda at katanggap-tanggap na tumulong sa kapwa ng walang nananalabag na batas at buong sikap pang nasusunod ang prangkisa? Dahil po ba kayo ay nakapagdudulot ng saya, ng aliw sa ating mga mamamayan? Dahil po ba kayo ay nakapagbibigay ng inspirasyon, ng pag-asa, ng katatagan ng loob na kagaya po sa opening salvo kanina ng representative ng ABS-CBN? Hindi na po ba natin susundin o tutuparin, isasaalang-alang ang ating mga batas, ang ating saligang batas, o kaya ang prangkisa ninyo? Makakapagpasaya naman po tayo. Makakapag-inspire po tayo. Nang hindi po tayo lumalabag sa batas. The House of Representatives should endeavor not to grant the franchise application of ABS-CBN because it has deliberately floated the Constitution and other related laws. Even the terms and conditions of its previous franchise to suit its own business and political interest, but to the prejudice of the greater good. The grant of a legislative franchise is merely a privilege and not a matter of right. Congress has the exclusive constitutional authority to award, alter, or revoke this privilege when the common good so requires, as in this particular case of ABS-CBN. We believe that it is but right for the House of Representatives to deny this time the franchise of ABS-CBN for flagrantly violating the Constitution and related laws, even its own franchise, making it unworthy of the grant of this special privilege by the state.
Alam mo kung sino lang ang pinakamatinding magiging kalaban ni Ricardo?
Sino?
Nako, kabahan ka kay si Ricardo. Ang pinakakalaban ni Ricardo. Feeling ko si Kiboloy. Yung nagpahinto ng lindol. Si Kiboloy lang ang magpapahinto ng probinsyano. Abangan nyo yan. Oh. So inahamon kita Kiboloy, pahinto mo nga ang probinsyano. Napahinto mo pala ang lindol eh. Apakayabang nyo pala eh. Sabi niya daw, stop. Sige nga, punta kang gitna ng EDSA, stop mo yung traffic doon. Stop. Iba ka, Kiboloy. Alam mo kung sino
Kailan mo ba gustong mapa-stop ang probinsyano? Ikaw, magpili ka. Kailan mo gustong i-stop? 1 buwan, 2 buwan, 3 buwan, 4 na buwan? Ikaw. Baka sa 4 na buwan, hindi lang yung probinsyano may stop. Baka pati yung network mo, stop na yan.
Mr. Speaker, ABS-CBN posed the challenge. Obviously, the challenge was accepted. There is no reason to complain. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, DS Marcoleta. We now recognize Speaker Cayetano for a manifestation.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to thank both sides for the opening statements. Very clear sa side ng ABS na paninindigan na walang violation of law. At very clear kay Deputy Speaker Marcoleta na inisa-isa niya yung alleged violation of law. So katulad ng sinabi ni Congressman Garbin kanina na dapat less technical para ang tao naririnig lahat, I just like to appeal sa members ng leniency kay Solicitor General. At kahit today natin schedule yung opening statement, bigyan pa natin siya ng pagkakataon sa susunod na hearing to make the opening statement. Kasi kung i-review nyo po ang statements niya, statement na Malacanang, very, very clear po, hindi siya inutusan ng ating Pangulo na pumunta sa korte at gawin yung petition niya. So very, very clear that the champion of the exposing the alleged violations of ABS-CBN is Solicitor General. That doesn't exclude other champions who are here today and other oppositors who have been interviewed on specific alleged violations. Pero si Solgen ang nakapag-put together ng arguments, ng proof, ng ebidensya, ng witnesses. So I don't think we can explain today sa atin publiko ang sub judice rule na claim ni Solicitor General Calida. But I just like to make 2 points. First, kung ganun ang interpretasyon ng sub judice rule, walang hearing na magaganap sa Kongreso. So for example, corruption sa pagbili ng PPEs. Ang gagawin lang nung inaakusahan, mag-file siya ng libel case laban dun sa umakusa. Tapos sasabihin na niya, hindi na siya pupunta sa hearing kasi sub judice yung kaso. Di ba? So, kumpleto po ang jurisprudence at yung batas na hindi po, kung paano i-apply yung sub judice rule. Secondly po, and it's a reminder din sa ating resource persons, during more normal times, no, nung hindi pa tayo nag-Zoom hearings or session, ang excuse mo lang na hindi pumunta dito, yung you're not physically well, you're physically unable to, you're out of the country. No? But if you will claim the constitutional right against testifying against yourself, if you're going to claim the right of privacy, if you're going to claim sub judice, or any other legal defense, reporters, if they're going to claim the privilege of protecting the information or the informants, sometimes we will allow that, but you have to be here. You cannot absent yourself and then make those claims. You have to be here, make those claims, and then the committee will determine whether tama yung legal excuse na binigay mo o hindi. So, I know that earlier Chairman Alvarado already stated that we will be sending him a letter, but also to extend him the courtesy na makapag-prepare din siya ng opening statement or at least a summary ng allegations against ABS so that to be fair to our executives from the ABS-CBN at sa kanilang mga empleyado, masagot naman nila punto kada punto. And I think the opening statements today, and we're going to hear some more, are the best evidence na talagang pag nagharap-harap, ang tao makakapag-decide na kumpleto yung impormasyon nila. So yun lang po sa akin, appeal na muli nating imbitahin, mula natin bigyan ng pagkakataon at lahat ng oras at oportunidad ang Solicitor General Calida na ma-present yung kanyang nalikom na impormasyon. If this was the budget hearing, he cannot absent himself. And in the budget hearing, any member can ask him, can you give us a summary of the petition you filed against ABS-CBN? So wag na nating hintayin yung budget hearing sa July o August bago natin siya matanong. Para nga harap-harapan po at yung mga membrong naghihintay sa Zoom at gustong magsalita, makapagsalita. Thank you to our two dear chairmen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Joint Committee Secretariats are directed to be more lenient to the Solicitor General, and please ask him to be here on the next hearing.
Before we go on to the closing remarks, the Chair would like to recognize more members present via Zoom. Representatives Lacson, Marco, Exter Romualdo, Nograles, Robes, Romulo, and Ramirez Sato. The Chair would like to recognize now Congressman P.D. Barsaga for the closing remarks.
Sir Chair.
Congressman Rosas.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Just a clarificatory question again. I heard kanina si Honorable Representative Garbin said sa rules of procedure pa rin po. Ikaklaro ko lang po, sinabi niya na ang boboto para sa franchise ay both Committee on Good Governance and Committee on Legislative.
Members sa franchise lang po ang pwede bumoto sa
Committee on Legislative
franchise.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Sa ating minamahal ng Speaker, sa Chairman ng Committee on Franchises, pati na sa Chairman ng Good Government at sa ating Majority Floor Leader, sa mga kasama ko sa Kongreso, sa mga kinatawan ng ABS-CBN. Narinig natin kanina ang pahayag ng mga kinatawan ng ABS-CBN sa pangunguna ni Ginoong Carlo Katigbak at kanyang sinabi, the law is the law. Ang batas ay batas, ngunit ang ABS-CBN ay walang paglabag sa batas na ginawa sa ilalim ng kanilang prangkisa. Narinig ko rin ang sinabi ng ating Deputy Speaker, Congressman Mark Coleta, at sinasabi niya maraming violation ang ginawa ng ABS-CBN. Mayroong paglabag ang ABS-CBN sa ating saligang batas sa pagkuha nila ng ABS-CBN ng Lopez family pagkatapos ng EDSA Revolution. Sinabi rin ni Deputy Speaker Marcoleta na ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN ay umabot na sa 63 taon in violation of the maximum requirement of 50 years sa ating saligang batas. At sinabi niya rin, mayroon ding paglabag ang ABS-CBN sa constitutional requirement na 100% Filipino ownership ang kinakailangan sa mass media sapagkat ang kanilang dating Pangulo, Eugenio Lopez, allegedly is an American citizen. At sinabi rin niya ang akusasyon na mayroong paglabag ang ABS-CBN sa pag-i-issue ng Philippine Depository receipts sapagkat ito ay pinagbibili sa foreigners which would be an indirect violation of the constitutional mandate that it should be owned only by citizens of the Philippines. Mayroon ding umanong paglabag sa ating labor code at paglabag sa pagbabayad ng buwis. Sa katunayan, nagkaroon siya ng comparison sa mga buwis na binabayad ng GMA7 at ABS-CBN. Dahilan sa mga conflicting issues na narinig ko mula sa ABS-CBN at kay Deputy Speaker Marcoleta, kinakailangan magkaroon tayo ng exhaustive hearing at nang sa ganon talagang makita natin kung ano ang katotohanan. Kaya minumungkahi ko sa ating mga chairpersons na mag-schedule tayo ng hearing at nabanggit naman ng ating majority floor leader that at the end of the session today, bibigyan niya ng karapatan ang mga committee na magkaroon ng session even during the time that we are in recess. Marami pong salamat.
Before we suspend our hearing, may we ask from our guests from ABS-CBN when they will be ready for our next hearing? Kailan po ninyo masasubmit lahat po ng mga kailangan ninyong mga AVPs or presentation documents regarding sa next topic natin, which is yung mga lahat na nabanggit po ni Kong Barsaga? Ano pong schedule ang sa tingin ninyo okay sa inyo?
Mr. Chair, para klaro lang, yung topics na i-cover po natin sa susunod na hearing ay yung mga binanggit po ni Congressman Marcoleta?
Barsaga po.
Okay. Opo. By Friday po, we'll be ready to submit lahat ng documents sa committee.
Baka pwede pong Thursday na lang para...
Thursday po. Opo.
And then, kailan po ninyo gusto mag-hearing? Thursday and Monday, hearing na tayo.
Kayo po.
Monday po siguro. Kung PD, okay nun?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The sooner the better, sapagkat nakatuon ang mata ng ating mga kababayan sa ginagawa natin sa pagtalakay ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN.
And I think that would also give enough time sa ating Soljan na mag-prepare din ng kanilang opening statement kung tsaka presentation kung mag-attend din po sila sa Monday. So we'll schedule our next hearing Monday, 9
Mr.
to...
Chairman, just a quick proposal, Mr. Chairman. Sana po makuha na rin natin sa ABS-CBN. Ano po ba yung nature ng kanilang proposal? Is it now a new application? It is now a renewal? Para hindi na tayo din nagdidebate within the committee in trying to consolidate the bills that we have for renewal and for the new application, let it come from ABS-CBN itself, from their legal, what submission they would want to this committee. Salamat, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Katigbak, who would like to answer?
Siguro, Mr. Chair, I'll defer to our sponsors and co-authors on the particular issue.
Sino mong co-author na mag-ano ngayon dito? Kong Rufus? Sa Zoom ba si Kong Rufus? Comsec, pakicheck. Comsec, pakicheck si... Paki-on yung mic ni Kong Rufus Rodriguez. Ay, ikaw na, Kong Arlene? Rufus.
Mr. Chairman.
Kong Mike.
Yes. The reason kaya ko po tinatanong yung ABS-CBN dun sa nature ng application nila, kasi parang humaganda sila na po as the corporate entity to define. Nakita na po nila yung presentation ni Congressman Marcoleta. There were several points about the constitutional limitation. ito pong nature of the bill that we will be discussing now? Will it be a new application? Will it be a renewal? So it would be best, Mr. Chairman, that it comes from the entity itself, ABS-CBN. I would assume that the sponsor later on, whether it's Congressman Rufus or anyone else, would take up the bill. Pero at least makita po natin at walang sisihan nang galing mismo doon sa aplikante ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman.
Before
Mr.
we...
Chairman, can I be recognized?
I would like to recognize Congressman Rufus Rodriguez.
Thank you very much, Chairman Chico Alvarez and Chairman Jonathan. Precisely, I have filed a new bill, 6694, to grant a new 25-year franchise to ABS-CBN because it is a fact that the franchise of ABS-CBN expired last May 4, midnight. But I would believe that, as stated by Chairman Alvarez, that the 11 bills that were filed, which were on renewal, could be by the motu proprio by the committee, could now be converted into all new grants because we cannot anymore talk about renewal when there's already a expiration of the franchise. And so if the authors would now join me and if they would signify their intention to be able to amend by manifestation the word extension to the word grant of a 25-year, I think we can join the issues and we can proceed on a new grant, Mr. Chairman. That is my opinion as author of 6694 filed on May 6 after the May 5 cease and desist order of the NTC, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Rodriguez. Congressman Mikey Arroyo.
Mr. Chairman, I believe that this issue, whether or not it is a renewal or an extension, is very important because there are so many side issues, Mr. Chairman. For example, there's a side issue. It may be big to others, but may be small to others. But for example, the issue of their frequencies, Mr. Chairman, if it is a renewal, then do they still have a right to the frequencies they used to use? Mr. Chairman, these are just small issues, huge umbrella issue we have. So I believe that we should have many more hearings to give an explanation to the experts, to ABS-CBN, to air their side, and to the oppositors. And we haven't heard these gentlemen here. I don't even know who they are. So. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, that's just one of the side issues that I will be asking in the future. So just a manifestation, Mr. Chairman.
Deputy Majority Boying.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to respond to the remark of the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez. The committee cannot amend a bill filed by a proponent at any time. It has to be the proponent himself filing an amendment to their bill filed. But since it has become moot and academic, I believe that it is just proper for them to refile a new bill for a new grant of franchise. I think that's the only way that we can really tackle it together with the other bills, because otherwise we might be violating our own rules, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, actually,
Majority Leader.
Good alternative right now is to consider having the committee file a substitute bill to incorporate those previous renewals, and that can be adopted by the said committee on legislative franchise.
Yeah. The chair is now directing the committee secretary to just file a substitute bill to consolidate all the franchise renewals. Congressman PD.
Clarification, Mr. Chairman. If a new bill would be filed, then does it require that there must be the usual procedure, that there must be the first reading, then there must be the referral to the committee? And if this would be the procedure, then we cannot have the hearing next scheduled Monday. Baka ang isipin ng tao, pinagtatagal pa lamang natin to. Bakit hindi na natin i-consolidate na lamang ng committee at gawin na lamang renewal? in order to obviate any technicality, considering not renewal but a new franchise, considering that right now there is nothing to be renewed in as much as the franchise has already expired. Renewal presupposes that the franchise is existing. And we cannot blame our colleagues when they file the bills asking for renewal because at that particular time, the franchise of ABS-CBN has not yet expired. So siguro pwede na sa committee level, you just consolidate and ask the authors if they are willing to amend and to make it application of a new franchise, not a renewal, in consonance with the bill filed by our colleague, Congressman Rufus Rodriguez.
Thank you very much. Barsaga, that was exactly what I said at the beginning of the hearing, that i-consolidate natin lahat ng renewals nung tinanong po ni Congressman Bumble Tolentino. Thank you. So, Congressman Mikey Arroyo.
Chairman, back to my issue, Mr. Chairman. So, do we leave it to the NTC to decide if these frequencies are up for bidding or up for grabs again now, or is it incumbent with the franchise committee to decide that fate?
I think all those questions, Congressman Mikey, will be answered in the succeeding hearings. We will tackle issues, specific issues lang per hearing, and I think in one of our hearings, matatakal po natin yan.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just saying this as a small side issue because I believe the issue that ABS-CBN is trying to say that it is important that we give livelihood to their workers and that they have they can give entertainment and provide news to our people. So I'm not trying to belabor my issue. I'm just saying it is a side issue, but I believe it is of equal importance, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Arroyo. So I will have
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Rosas.
Nung sinamit po namin yung renewal franchise, we were banking on what you said nung last committee hearing na i-hear natin yung 12, how many franchises, no? Renewal franchises yon. So, our position is, gusto sana namin yung renewal, yung na franchise, yung pag-usapan, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Congressman Herkiap.
Mr. Chair, una-una gusto ko po magpasalamat at natuloy na po itong hearing na to. At ngayon po, narinig na natin yung opening statement ni Sir Carlo Catibak na lagi po natin nakikita sa TVN. At for the first time po, narinig naman natin yung statement ni Deputy Speaker Marcoleta na ito po yung mga sa ngayon ay alleged violations at makikita na rin po sa TVN. Yun po ang purpose ng hearing natin, na malaman po talaga ng taong bayan kung ano po yung totoong nangyayari. Yun lang po. Gusto ko magpasalamat sa inyo, Mr. Chair, at sa leadership po.
Thank you. The Chair will also direct the Committee Secretary to talk to all the authors kung amenable sila doon sa ating gagawin na pag-consolidate na lang. So now, before we suspend, ulitin ko lang ating next hearing, Monday, 9 to 1 p.m. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Kung okay na po kayo doon para may time lahat mag-prepare. Hearing is suspended until Monday, 9 a.m.